Hi, and welcome to 647. Six stories for 7 a.m. because there's a famine of truth in our land. And this is your quick news fix. And the truth starts now. And the 647 Tapas Bar is open. And we start with Rock'em Sock'em airplanes at LaGuardia Airport. So two packed Delta jets absolutely smashed into each other on the runway at LaGuardia Airport Wednesday night, according to authorities, and terrified passengers, destroying a plane's nose and ripping off a large part of a wing. The saga unfolded when the wing of an aircraft carrying 32 people that was departing for Roanoke, Virginia, suddenly collided with the fuselage of an aircraft arriving from Charlotte, North Carolina, with 61 people aboard just before 10 p.m., Delta said in a statement. Their right wing clipped our nose and the cockpit. We have damage to our windscreen, and the whole nose of this plane is all busted up, and so's the other one's wing. And so, fun at airports. Don't fly unless you have to. Maxwell House. This was something I grew up with, that giant blue can on the kitchen counter all the time. My mom and I were always fighting over the empties. I had stuff I wanted to put in it. She wanted to put grease drippings in it. Hey, it was a long time ago. Anyway, after 133 years, Maxwell House Coffee is changing it up. And I'm sorry, it's a bad idea. In fact, it's a really bad idea. And the owner of the company now is Kraft Heinz. So what are they going to come up with? This is their rebrand, right? It doesn't have any trans people in it, so I can't critique it that way. It's called Maxwell Apartment, and they're teaming up with Amazon. And so for $39.99, you get a year's worth of coffee, and you get it in 4 canisters, and Amazon's going to deliver one 27.5-ounce canister of ground coffee to you every 3 months. And I can just tell you're all ready to sign up, right? Don't you want to buy a year's worth of coffee for $39.99? I don't think people understand what the coffee thing is. I don't know. They think we all live at a truck stop or something. It doesn't make any sense. But you know what? It's corporate America. You just can't make it up. It's too stupid. All right. So here's a good one. Record-breaking rogue planet seen growing at a rate of 6 billion tons per second. I got to get some Ozempic out there. Okay, observing the object over several months, they found it flared up dramatically. It's gobbling up 6 billion tons of mass per second. That is how they grow. And the low mass stars build a significant fraction of their total mass during short outbursts that enhance accretion known as furor and Exor outbursts, a paper on the topic explains. Furor objects are characterized by a sudden brightening of 5 magnitudes at visible wavelengths within 1 year and remain bright for decades. XOR objects have lower amplitude outbursts on shorter time scales. So these guys aren't really sure what they're seeing, but they're seeing something growing at an incredible rate, and it's giving off all this light. And you know what? I'm just saying, it might be the Lord coming. It could be the time. There's all kinds of things pointing to it. And these clowns would be the last to know. This could be his arrival. He's on his way. So I want you all, listen for the trumpet blast. Don't get caught. All right. Here's an update to the puzzle, which, let's just say, none of you helped me with. Thank you very much. Okay, so here's the puzzle. What was the puzzle yesterday? All this war equipment being moved all over the globe, and The whole time we're supposed to be going, oh, shut down, shut down, shut down. I'm so fascinated with shiny object. No, 800 generals all being brought to Quantico. Mm-mm, mm-mm. No, there's something else going on. So anyway, here's some answers to the puzzle. I don't even know if they're answers. They're listed at least improved data, but this feels like the damn New York Post to me. The answer to puzzle from Thursday is, so this is Friday. The USS Gerald R. Ford is in the Mediterranean, right? It's not up by Norway, and being escorted by Navy vessels from Spain. I'm sure they appreciate that help. No, and as a result, Spain at the same time canceled their escort for Greta Thunberg's Somad flotilla going to Gaza. That's going to become its own nightmare because Netanyahu's saying they're not getting to Gaza. It's all these do-gooder goofballs in all these little boats. Anyway, it's the Thunberg flotilla. I wish this girl would just get a job or something. All right, another puzzle piece. U.S. and Qatar have signed an agreement similar to the Article 5 in NATO, which basically means you mess with Qatar, you're messing with Trump. And now we've got all kinds of military equipment in Qatar. So what else is going on? There's all kinds of chatter about Iran sending military equipment to Venezuela and coordinating all kinds of Hamas trainers for the 3 million peasant military that they have over there. So now I don't know what to think. Why all the activity for Venezuela? It's not about stopping drugs. It is about one unique fact, and that is that Venezuela has the largest oil reserves of any country on the planet. Okay? It's not a coincidence. Iran would like to have some controlling interests there. And Trump looks to me, I'll give you a few more pieces. Multiple Russian Ilyushin 2-76 giant cargo aircraft have been making deliveries to Iran. Don't know what's in it. And then U.S. MQ-4C Triton unmanned aerial vehicles are surveilling the Persian Gulf with eyes on Iran. So Iran's providing weapons, missiles, and ships to Venezuela, and Hamas is training 3 million troops in Venezuela, and Trump is positioning everything to go back to Iran and flatten it because they're trying to do nuclear tests again. These guys just have a death wish. So let's give it to them. No, when people want something, sometimes you just got to let them have it. I would not want to be Venezuela after the shock and awe happens to Iran 2 times in a year, okay? And believe me, the way they do it this time is going to send a message to everybody around the globe, including China. We're ready to rumble, dudes. All right, take 2. Oh, just by the way, I think there's a lot more going on at Quantico that has to do with a whole reset for the United States. But how are we going to do that on a short news show? Okay, I shouldn't even be saying it. All right, take 2. Mamdani's latest moments in Marxism. Zoran the Magnificent will end the gifted and talented programs in New York City schools. He told the New York Times that the programs, first he said K through 12, now he's softening it and saying K through 3, but they'll finish this school year, but then the next school year, they're going to stop it. Why? Okay? Because he's ruled by King Karl. That's his morning star, Karl Marx. And nobody is gifted and talented. If you're gifted and talented, then I'm not gifted and talented. Okay? That's what it means. So unless everyone is gifted and talented, nobody can be gifted and talented. That's the Marxist way. So they're going to end up having a new motto, e pluribus nada. Out of the many, none. So what does this have to do with you? Why is this just because I came down here from New York and I got to talk about New York? No. This Mamdani thing, first of all, it's already in the bag, and it was in the bag a month ago. How can that be? The largest city in our country where all of the financial business gets done and something's a lock months before, something's not right. Okay. And the something that's not right is that on one side, you've got all this Trump flexing, and now the government's shutting down, and that's a little too convenient with everything else that we're seeing. And so Trump is making major moves, and the left is trying to make major moves. And Mamdani is a throwdown in the face of Trump. Trump said he'll never be mayor, and they said, guess what? We're going to make sure he's a lock, like right after you said that. Everybody else will be falling away. So Adams has fallen away. Cuomo, you don't even see any press on him anymore. So what's this got to do with you? It's the left throwing down, okay? Zoran is taking over the biggest city in the US. And then when the shutdown happened, what did we see? We saw all these posed events for AOC as the possible next president from the Dems, right? So now AOC is Marxist Barbie. And the left is saying, we're all in. We're going to go all in. We're going to have Mamdani and AOC, and we'll get Slick to be her arm candy as a VP. And you know what? Trump's going full metal jacket. We are going full tilt. And just watch. From that springboard, they're going to be looking for the Antichrist because that's their game plan. All right, take three. This is Bobby Kennedy working it again over at HHS, trying to reverse all the crazy medical policy that we have that was run by Big Pharma. So this is all about black box warnings on hormone therapy for menopause symptoms. All kinds of women go through this terrible menopause with heat flashes and just feeling terrible and can't sleep. And it's very rough to watch because there's not much anybody can do about it. But hormone therapy works, but somehow everyone got scared away from it. So I just want to read this to you because changes are coming and it's going to be really important for women 50 and up. U.S. Food and Drug Administration plans to make changes soon to the lengthy black box warning on many hormone replacement products for women with menopause system, says Commissioner Dr. Marty Makary. Good guy. We are in serious discussions now about what to do about the black box warning, and I think you'll hear something on it very soon, Makary told CNN chief medical goofball Sanjay Gupta in Chasing Life podcast. The black box warning is the strongest type of alert the FDA puts on a drug label, especially when they're paid off to do it. Since 2003, labels of menopause treatments that contain estrogen, including pills, patches, sprays, and creams, have warned that their use can increase the risk of uterine and breast cancers, as well as strokes and blood clots. The labels also warn about an increased risk of dementia for women over the age of 65. So what woman is going to take that with all those warnings, right? And we don't have any of those warnings on the COVID vaccine. This is all paid off. The FDA is compromised. And when these kind of warnings go on that, it's because Big Pharma has a strategy. Oh, we're going to give you all these other drugs individually and make a hell of a lot more money that way. So we put that out there. Yeah, we got something, but we're going to exercise on the side of caution. We don't do it anywhere else. We don't do it with vaccines. We don't do it with a vaccine schedule. We don't do it when we're looking at autism. But this, we're going to scare all of the women going through menopause away. So bad. The warning was added after a large government-funded study found that women taking estrogen pills after menopause had higher risk of some kinds of cancers, heart disease, stroke compared with women taking a placebo. The study participants had an average age of 63. So many were past menopause when they started the therapy. You see, it's a bullshit study. You know it. So after the study and the label change, prescriptions for hormone replacement therapy drugs for women dropped by more than 70%. That was a planned outcome. And doctors became reluctant to prescribe them. Wow, doctors erring on the side of caution. This is all a manipulated business plan. It's really a tragedy. It's maybe one of the greatest screw-ups of modern medicine, Macari said. It's resulted in 50 million women being denied this incredible therapy. The result has been undertreatment of symptoms that can be debilitating for women in midlife. In the late 1990s, more than 1 in 4 post-menopausal women were taking hormones to manage symptoms such as hot flashes, mood swings, and night sweats. By 2020, that number had dropped to 1 in 25. So it went from 1 in 4 to 1 in 25. Newer analyses of the original study, called the Women's Health Initiative, have since found that hormone therapy started in women younger than 60 or within 10 years of starting menopause may safely help manage menopausal symptoms such as hot flashes and poor sleep, as long as the women don't have specific contraindications such as a history of hormone-sensitive breast and uterine cancer. All right? So this is all going to change, and it's going to be great, but you've got to start the therapy like in your 50s. This is a hard one because women go through menopause at different times. There's no set time. All right, take 4, Breitbart. Netflix grooming syndicate stock slides as boycott rages. This is John Nolte. The Netflix grooming syndicate was caught red-handed grooming children as young as 2. A boycott led by Elon Musk followed, and now Netflix has watched its stock slide for 2 days in a row. Shares slid 0.8% to 1,162 ahead of the opening bell. Okay, the Barron's piece is laughably and desperately dishonest, says Nolte. Instead of focusing on Netflix demonic grooming in animated shows aimed at toddlers, Barron's blames the boycott on something a Netflix producer said about Charlie Kirk. They just make this stuff up as a distraction, okay? They got caught grooming 2-year-olds in their programming. So Netflix is probably too big to fail now. It's an international corporation, the biggest entertainment company on the planet by far, and no online American boycott will bring it down. Yeah, it could if Christians would stop watching it. But the shame that comes with being caught in the demonic act of sexualizing little kids might bring about change. What Netflix has done is indefensible, and they know it's indefensible, but they had hoped to sneak this through in a way that would appease the trans loons without angering normal people. Well, the boycott's on. You've angered normal people, and you angered one not so normal people, and that's the richest guy in the world, Elon Musk, who already has a tragedy with his son being a trans girl woman now, and he has no relationship with her, and he's angry about it because all of that was interfered in his parenting of that child. So I hope he gets out his checkbook and he keeps the heat on Netflix. All right, take 5. Got to talk about what's going on in this shutdown, because the shutdown has so much manipulation in it. It's got Soros paying the Dems to do this stupidly so that Trump and Russ Vought, so Russ Vought is a name you got to know. He is the head of the Office of Management and Budget. He's the director of that office. And he's also the director of an architect of Project 2025, which was going on before Trump was elected. And just disclaimer, I was chosen to be a part of 2025. I went through all of the training and interviews and online classes, and it was going on all summer. And then the press got wind of it and they scared Trump off of it, and that was that. So I probably wasn't a great candidate because I was an academic. I wasn't a bureaucrat. I wasn't a lawyer. But nonetheless, I went through all their process. So President Donald Trump announced Thursday he would meet with Russ Vought at the Office of Management and Budget to discuss which federal agencies may face reductions as the government shutdown continues. Okay, they've had this firing plan for a long time, and it's going to be thousands of blue bureaucrats. And the Dems have played right into this because Schumer was paid off by Soros, and Soros was given the money by the deep staters in England. And there's so many players at this table trying to keep America screwed up, and Trump is determined to change it all. So let's get behind it. Trump and Vought continue implementing broad reductions to the federal bureaucracy during the Democrat-led government shutdown. Earlier this week, Vought revealed the cancellation of nearly $8 billion in federal green energy projects targeting initiatives in blue and blue-leaning states such as California, Colorado, Illinois, and New York. The administration also confirmed that $18 billion in infrastructure projects in New York City, including the Hudson Tunnel Project and the Second Avenue subway, would be placed on hold pending review of contracting practices. Okay, I'm sure they're going to review contracting practices, but this is still Trump saying, you better not put this Mamdani guy in. And all the libs in New York, they're absolutely locked on him because Trump doesn't want him. Vought has played a central role in reshaping federal operations. In August, Secretary of State and Acting National Security Advisor Marco Rubio appointed him to oversee the closeout of USAID following Congress's approval of a $9 billion rescission package that eliminated funding for USAID, PBS, and NPR. Ray. Okay, so Rubio said the move capped months of restructuring that transferred core functions to the State Department, while Vought noted his intent to finalize the agency's closure. He's thinning them all out. So this was all worked out ahead of time. Congress in particular has embraced the language of the Schumer shutdown. Some figures, moreover, have pointed to the New York Democrats' possible personal motivations as his party grows frustrated with his leadership, which means they're looking more at giving his seat to AOC. So if you got Mamdani and you got AOC, you got two just absolutely lunatic Marxists, right? Who have everything they want to implement will destroy major areas of our country. And New Yorkers are just moths to the flame. All right, Trump himself has largely taken to memes and edited videos and recently deepfake using AI technology. This has been so fun to watch. The meme depicting an image of Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries discussing their reasons for the shutdown. The video features an artificially mustachioed Jeffries wearing a sombrero, looking on as Schumer insists that Democrats have lost the support of American people and need to buy the support of illegal aliens by paying for health care in order to stay competitive. And by the way, they want all of us to give them $1.5 trillion to exercise that and buy all new voters for them. Jeffries later condemned the video as racist and disgusting on MSNBC. Trump's team created another video that included Jeffries' comments and then depicted him again with a mustache and sombrero. At that point in the video, multiple Donald Trumps are synthesized in a ring behind him, forming a mariachi band, and all these Trump guys playing the mariachi. It's just so funny, and it triggers the left so bad. White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt on Thursday warned that the administration expects federal layoffs stemming from the ongoing government shutdown to be in the thousands. That's nice and round and general. All right, we're at the last segment here, the ARM study, Advanced Reprobate Mind Studies. We just got two women just totally off the rails. So the execution date has been set for Krista Pike, Tennessee's only female prisoner on death row, according to reports. Pike, now 49, received the death sentence in 1996 for brutally murdering her fellow Knoxville Job Corps worker, Colleen Slemmer, in 1995. Both were 18 at the time. She was not the only one involved in Slemmer's murder, as Toddler Ship, Pike's boyfriend at the time, as well as another individual, Shadola Peterson, were convicted in the murder case as well. So she's got a year and then she's toast. And then another winner, a disgraced Indiana teacher accused of forcing teenagers as young as 13 to wear scream masks while having group sex with her, now faces nearly 50 criminal charges after another accuser came forward. Brittany Fortenberry, 32, was hit with 6 additional counts. It's a nice-looking woman. You never expect this teacher to be carrying on like this. Only reprobates do this stuff. Who could get involved with all these 13, 14, and 15-year-olds and be having group sex and think it's not going to get out? What's your leverage? I'll give you an A? They don't care. The accuser came forward in early September, long after the teacher had been arrested and accused by others, saying he was previously too scared to speak out. Newly released documents reveal. So now she went from 44 counts to now 50 counts against her. So it's just insane. Reprobates all around. I know you may be getting tired of hearing that. I actually did this whole program without saying Tylenol or acetaminophen. So we do move along once the mainstream stops scrubbing, okay? But we actually can't move along unless you like us, share us, make comments. When I have a puzzle, try to help me out with it. It's still not solved. I'm sending things all around to people. What do you think? No, nobody wants to step out. Nobody wants to be seen as crazy. But you know what? You're going to feel crazy when everything starts happening and you think it's happening too fast. You'll think back. You know what? He was queuing me up on this. He actually told us that thing growing at 6 billion tons a second. I'm telling you, could be the savior on his way back. Let's see what happens. But until then, it's Friday. You're headed into the weekend. Please, dear God, there is so much happening right now. So many things we don't have answers for. I ask that you will stretch out your arms over this whole 647 family and bless them this Friday and all the way through the weekend. And please, Lord, when it's your time, in the fullness of time, let us know what's going on, please. All right, God bless you all. Have a great weekend.